When you need help or advice, you turn to your parents or a trusted friend for help. So why go outside of Virginia, your home, when you need car insurance? Able Insurance gives you individual attention and won't turn you away no matter what your driving record looks like. Giving same-day personal service in the state of Virginia for over 30 years. Able Insurance, 979-0814 is the number. AbleInsurance.com is the site.
Go.
What up, though, BallHawk Show.
Say it one more time.
What up, though, BallHawk Show.
What up, though? Welcome to the BallHawk Show podcast. I'm your host, Amaya Hawkins. And I thank you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to the latest episode of the show. Today's show, man, we're going to be recapping the Virginia Cavaliers defeating the Virginia Tech Hokies in Blacksburg last night. It was a hard-fought game. Ended up winning by a score of 64-58. And if you understand competition in the ACC and this rivalry, you understand that UVA seems to always blow out Virginia Tech one of the two games that they've played. And as a matter of fact, Virginia Tech is the only team that can say they beat UVA in each of the past 3 seasons. So we understood coming to this game that you throw out records, you throw out that their best player was injured, and that they were going to be inspired and motivated to even the series and defend their home court. And it was a tough game. Definitely was a tough game. As you guys know, if you pay attention to Twitter and Facebook, the hottest topic is Kihei Clark and his minutes, or why he has a long leash. So that's going to be discussed at the end of the podcast. Hopefully it's not a long podcast. If that's all you want to hear, fast forward maybe 15 minutes and you'll get to that part. But, if it's your first time listening to the BallHawk Show podcast, make sure you subscribe. Whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, BlogTalk Radio, PodBean, Google Play, TuneIn app. Definitely appreciate you for taking the time out to check out my content. And if you enjoy the content, feel free to go to previous episodes. And I definitely appreciate the support. Go to schUjuice.com for your Shut the Hell Up Juice apparel, or hit me up directly on Twitter and Instagram at I Am BallHawk, and also Facebook, Amaya Hawkins. And you go to my fan site on Facebook, just type in BallHawk. So let's jump right into it. Visited the Hokies. They had 9,275 people in attendance for the game. As I stated, the Wahoos ended up winning by a score of 64-58, a far cry from the 20-plus win we had here at John Paul Jones Arena, where we shot, roughly 60% from three, and we couldn't miss, and we jumped out on them early. And this is with that, when their best player was playing, but he's out now, number one all-time leader in assists, and so they had to make do with Alexander Walker basically being the primary ball handler. He's their best pro prospect. So they had to adjust to that accordingly. Beatty is a guy that he's basically our Kihei Clark in a sense. And I'll give you a little snippet. So Kihei Clark, the past 4 games, been struggling, right? Especially finding his shot. And it was amazing reviewing the film again before I just did this podcast and record this around 5:00 p.m. on Tuesday. I watched the game in additional time, but I watched a game film without commentary and different views, and it was ironic that watching Virginia Tech, they basically had one guard on the floor that the other team was daring to shoot or daring to make a play offensively. So Kihei Clark, his first shot was an air ball, and then you turn around on defense, Beatty, he was 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from the three-point land. You look at Kihei Clark, he was 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from three-point land. Kihei played 22 minutes. Basically, he played every minute of the first half, only 2 minutes of the second half. And Beatty played 19 total minutes. And I'll get into more of Kihei Clark in a discussion later on. So I don't want to cheat the fans who are loyal to the podcast and love to hear like post-game notes and stats. And then what I thought about the game, and then I get into the soapbox moment. So post-game notes at Virginia Tech provided by Virginia Sports. Shout out to my bro Jeff White. Team notes, number 3, Virginia is 23-2, 11-2 in the ACC. Swept the 2-game series versus Virginia Tech. That's always a great thing, sweeping the Hokies. UVA is 7-2 versus ranked opponents this year, and we know that's coming to one team, that's Duke. UVA is 8-1 in true road games. UVA is 4-0 against teams from the Commonwealth of Virginia, posting wins against VCU, William & Mary, and 2 wins versus Virginia Tech. Virginia has won 21 of the last 24 games against teams from Virginia. Virginia is 93-56 all-time versus Virginia Tech, including a 22-30 mark in Blacksburg, in a series that dates back to 1914-1915. The Cavaliers are 6-2 in their last 8 games at Castle Coliseum. Head coach Tony Bennett is 14-6 all-time versus Virginia Tech. The UVA-Virginia Tech game was worth a half a point in the Commonwealth Clash, and the Hokies lead this year's class 5 to 3.5 points. Virginia has won 11 or more ACC games for the 7th straight season, which is a school record. UVA has won 23 or more games for 7 straight seasons, which is a school record. Virginia held a 32-29 halftime lead behind my guy, Cal Guy, 17 points. And a fun fact, UVA is undefeated this season when they've led at halftime. So the only 2 games we've lost were to Duke, and we were trailing at halftime. So you could say we're a classic front runner. We put the pressure on you, and we hold on to leads, which should be a good thing, a good barometer, a good indicator, because everybody loves advanced stats and analytics. So that's a stat. So if we're leading at halftime, we're 100% that we're going to win as of right now. Player notes, double-figure scores. Cal Guy, who has 17 in the first half, finished with 23 total points. Ty Jerome has 16 points. DeAndre Hunter just had 10 points. Cal Guy has a 3-game, 20-point streak. 12th career 20-point game. He's the first U of A player to achieve this 3-game, 20-point streak since the great Malcolm Brogdon, who is now what is Malcolm now with the Players Association? I know Andre Iguodala is the VP, but I know he up there now. And that took place February 15th through February 27th of 2016. I'm sorry I got sidetracked. Guy has a 25-game 3-point streak, which is the longest active streak in the ACC. Cal Guy passed Adam Hall, who actually came in the same time. Well, he came in a year after that I did. With 1,104 points from 1999. Well, that's 2 years. I'm sorry. 1999 to 2002 for 43rd on UVA's career scoring list. He now has 1,123 points. Cal Guy passed the great London Parentes, probably pound for pound, the best pure point guard this university has seen. I say pure because we know like Sean Singletary was about a bucket. We know Corey Alden-Zelen was about a bucket. Harold Dean, all those guys. Donald Hand. So the list goes on and on. And I apologize if I didn't go all the way back to when you guys, started watching UVA basketball. So, again, I'm just a football player. Let me live. Cal Guy is 6th all-time on UVA's career three-pointers list with 212 career three-pointers. Mamadou Keita had 2 blocks and extended his block streak to 18 games. So let's go to the box score. Let's check out what Virginia Tech did. Virginia Tech as a team, they shot 39% from the field. In the first half, they shot 46% from the field. In the second half, they were limited to 33% from the field. From three-point land, they were 2 of 13 in the first half. That's 15%. 1 of 15 in the second half. And actually, they missed 14 straight because Ahmed Hill actually hit a three-pointer within the first minute of that second half to tie the game. So, they ended the game 0 for 14 from 3. They shot just 10%. There was 3 of 28 total. This is the top 3-point shooting team in the ACC. I think they're like 4th or 5th nationally, something like that. So to limit them to just 10%, and they had some good looks, and then other times we recovered well, and then we pushed them a little further out into Thailand, and they couldn't make those shots. From the free throw line, they attempted 13 free throws. They made 9. That's 69%, and they're one of the better free throw shooting teams in the ACC. You look at their rebounding. They had 13 offensive rebounds, 15 defensive rebounds. That's 28 total rebounds. Blackshear Jr. had 13 rebounds by himself. A lot of those offensive rebounds came from long jumpers, hitting the back of the rim, coming out to the 15-foot line, extended, around the free throw line. And Outlaw was doing a great job of tracking down those long rebounds. He had 5 offensive rebounds by himself, and Blackshear also had 5. Then they had a couple late in the second half when the game was pretty much, put away. You look at their turnovers. They only had 8 turnovers. They had 9 assists. They had 9 steals. And off those turnovers that they generated, they had 13 points, 38 points in the paint, 21 second chance points off those 13 rebounds, 8 fast break points, and only 5 points from the bench because they're very limited as far as their rotation. When you look at us, conversely, on the offensive side of the ball, our shooting woes, not shooting woes, but our shooting, we were 12 of 26 in the first half, 46%, and then the second half we was 11 of 24. We shot 45%. So for the game, we were very efficient. We shot 46% from the field. We were 11-27 from 3. We shot 40% from 3. The first half we were 5 of 14. The second half we were 6 of 13. 6 of 13 is such a great number because that's what Cal Guy was alone from the 3-point stripe. He was 6 of 13, 8 of 15 for a total of 23 points, as I said. For the free throw line, we shot just 58%. We got to improve on that to definitely close out games. We only won this game by 6 points. Identical scores in each half. Scored 32 points in the first half, 32 points in the second half. They scored 29 points in the first half, 29 points in the second half. So when you break down also points in the paint, we had 16. We had 5 steals. Converted that to 6 points. We turned the ball over 13 times. We had 14 assists. And usually, lately we've been double digits every time turning the ball over, and that's something that we're going to discuss in the soapbox moment. But we talked about the big 3 in their scoring. Cal Guy, talked about his 23 points, had 3 assists, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, 7 rebounds. Ty Jerome had 16 and 6, just 2 turnovers. He had 6 assists. 3 rebounds. He was 3 of 6 from 3, 60% from the field. He was 6 of 10 overall. DeAndre Hunter had 4 rebounds to go along with us, 10 points, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. Jack Salt played just 13 minutes. The past couple games he's been playing between 13 and 15 minutes. Got into some foul trouble. Had 1 point that was on the free throw for the hook foul that they called on Blackshear Jr. Kihei Clark, the man of the hour that everybody wants to talk about. He played 22 minutes. He played 20 minutes in the first half, just 2 minutes in the second half. He attempted 3 shots. He missed all 3 shots. Missed both of his 3-pointers. One was an air ball. Had 2 rebounds. He had 2 assists to just 1 turnover and no points. Mamadi Diakite was 3 of 8 from the field. Missed a breakaway dunk. 8.6 rebounds. We talked about the 2 blocks. He played 30 minutes. Braxton Key played 28 minutes, 2 for 5 from the field, hit 2 daggers from the elbow, 3-point line. That's where his 6 points came from, 3 rebounds. He's usually our leading rebounder, but this game he was 4th in rebounding. 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and then Jeff Huff just played 5 minutes. 1 personal foul, registered 1 rebound, didn't attempt a shot. Also had 1 turnover, and pretty much got pulled because of Virginia Tech and the small lineup that they were running. So when you look at Virginia Tech, Kerry Blackshear Jr. is the only, quote, big, I'm saying that in quotation, my only big man that they have. It's really they playing with 4 guards. So, we started out playing with Jack Salt. Blackshear can take Jack Salt out of the paint. Virginia Tech was doing a great job of, cutting and their movement without the basketball, coming off of their screens, creating switches that we usually don't do, and the backdoor cuts and inbound plays were giving us trouble because of their quickness, because of the lineup that they had in, and because the paint is open, because Jack Salt has to come out, because Blackshear will hang out, basically as our fans would like for Jay Huff to play. If Jay Huff's in the game, that's how they feel the game would be for us offensively, to where, Jay Huff would be around the 3-point lane, free throw line extended. The guards could drive weak side, go off the elbow, give you a whole side, get to the baseline. So, it calls for Coach Bennett to kind of tinker and look at his matchups and look at his lineup. He went with a 3-guard set just because he wanted to add more on-ball pressure, because they're so guard dominant. They're a very good 3-point shooting team. Kihei does a good job of pressuring the basketball, causing a lot of mistakes from being the pest. The drop-off is he's not as polished as you would like offensively, especially these last 4 games. He's been struggling. He's hit the freshman wall. Just a couple of weeks ago when we played Virginia Tech here, if you can remember, he was hitting corner threes. He hit one right before the half. That was huge for us and kept us with the momentum. But lately, I think he's missed his last 7 or 8 straight shots. He's only shooting 30% from the field on the season. And you have a lot of people calling for him to get pulled and have his minutes limited. And it's a lot of narratives that's been created to demonize this young man that I think is unfair. Like, if you create a legit narrative and you have legit data that says he doesn't need to play, I have no issue with that. If somebody comes with a legit critique and they say, hey, BallHawk, he's killing us shooting the basketball, teams are shading away from him, leaving him by himself. Somebody told me that, and that's what made me go back and watch the film. And just watching the film, Virginia Tech just was not leaving. It's not like he was Ben Simmons and they were sagging underneath the 3-point line, daring him to shoot. No, he just happened to be a wide open guy on the 2 3-pointers that he took. And then he drove to the basket. He got a little too fancy, had too much sauce with his filet layup, and it got swatted. Coach Bennett went up to him and said, hey, man, instead of doing your little, Iceman Gervin little finger roll, how about you do a teardrop like Ty Jerome is doing off the backboard? Give me a little floater action, because those big boys are lurking. Or do what you've been doing. Go strong, commit. And if you see distress, now you dump it down to the big, because that's the help guy. But I guess I get right into what I seen. So we have the continuity offense to where we have 3 guards. It's constant motion, constant catching, making an extra pass, trying to get to the baseline on dribble drives to kick to the opposite corner, which that's what Kihei's strength is. He can pressure you and break down the defense by getting to the baseline, causing that big to come from that opposite block. And now you have the guard having to come down so you can't dump it down to the big, and he'll kick it to the weak side corner. And then you get a Cal guy 3-pointer. Ty Jerome does it well. Ty Jerome will actually go baseline and kick it not only to the weak side corner, but to the elbow. Did I just say the elbow with Kihei? I meant the corner. But so with the continuity offense, I can understand why Kihei is starting, because you need an added ball handler. And you would love the threat of having Ty Jerome and Cal Guy working those elbows. And now you could use the 15-foot kill zone with Hunter. You know what I'm saying? So now would that offense look even better if you put Jay Huff in it? Absolutely. And I'm just trying to figure out where we could find, minutes for Jay Huff, because you have people saying, BallHawk, we got to find minutes for Jay Huff. And now people are making Kihei Clark public enemy number 1 because he played 22 minutes. And they're like, we could have given Jay Huff some of those 22 minutes. And while on the surface it looks like, it looks that simple, it's really not, because Jay Huff is stuck between Braxton Key and Mamadi Diakite. Jack Salt's only playing 13 minutes. So if we flipped it and Jay Huff only played 13 minutes, I think people still be complaining. People just want to see the unicorn really get out there, scream on folks, dunk on folks, and we're all excited. But I just think with certain matchups, you can't play certain lineups. Certain guys are going to get more burn than what you're used to seeing. And for the past couple of games, how the lineups have been and how teams have played smaller, you've been seeing a lot more of Kihei because of what happened to Mamadi getting knocked out versus Duke. So we added another ball handler versus UNC, and he played a lot the first half, and then the second half, we went more with our depth lineup. And our depth lineup, what we do is we take Kihei Clark out, and we take Jack Salt out, and we insert Mountain Diakite, we insert Braxton Key. And then even late in the game versus UNC, we put in Jay Huff to open up that lane even more. You know, Coach did that because he understood that size for size, he won't lose as much on defense. And we gotta always hark back to this, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Bennett is a defensive-minded coach, okay? He's going to make sure that if one thing does not drop off, it's going to be defense. He's not going to sacrifice defense for offense. He's just not, because he's a firm believer in extra possessions. Yes, we may have some empty flights where we go up and a Jack Saw or a Kihei Clark just can't make an open shot, correct? But if we can continue to play and suffocating defense, he's looking at it, the wear and tear. He's looking at if you was a boxer and he's going to the body early. He's setting you up for late in the game when he comes with that depth lineup. Because when he comes with the depth lineup, which he did, I want to say he started off with Mamdi and Hunter in the game. So it was Mamdi, Hunter, and Jack Salt, I believe, in the second half. Because Jay Billis talked about how that was a big lineup. And then we brung Key in around, I want to say, the 10-minute mark. And I mean, you had a couple subs in between them, but when we finally went with that, you know, the depth lineup, where it's the best two-way lineup that we have, and one of the best lineups that you will see in college basketball, because there is really no drop-off. Yes, Braxton Key isn't as polished shooting the basketball, but he can slash, he can finish. He demonstrated that you can't just not let him shoot, because he made 2 3-pointers that were daggers versus Virginia Tech. Mountain Diakite is what he is. He's an athletic enigma. He's a guy that he's so freakishly athletic and streaky that teams aren't just going to let him shoot. You know, does he have bad shot selection? Absolutely. Does he want to triple that like DeAndre does? Absolutely. But he's a guy that you have to respect. So when we go to that lineup with Diakite and Key, we can also be aggressive on the offensive board, because Key is our best rebounder. So you have our best rebounder in Braxton Key, also one of our best finishers around the rim in Braxton Key. You have one of our best finishers around the rim in Mountain Diakite, and then our best rim protector in Mountain Diakite. Ty Jerome is who he is, a stone cold killer, shoot from Thailand. Cal Guy is what he is, Ray Allen type. Catch and shoot, don't even look, close his eyes, sir, shut the hell up, Juice. When the crowd got too hyped with a 202 mark and he hit that 3 from the corner, he posed and then threw up the Juice man for him. Then you got DeAndre the Hunter. And when the Hunter smell blood, you gonna get got. He in his kill zone. But let's circle back, shall we? Let's circle back. Let's circle all the way back, because I'm not gonna let y'all off that easy. People, why do we do this to players on our respective teams? You know, just about 2 weeks ago, we were loving Kihei Clark. I could just remember the first couple games. It was like, how did he get a scholarship? Who is he? Oh, they comparing him to Leonard Parentes because he's from California. And the kid just flat out plays his butt off, gives you everything he has, all heart and hustle. Any points he gives you is a bonus. But you see how great he is as being a pest on a basketball. And everybody's having a contest of what's the nickname we're going to give him. And you got memes of him flexing and looking all mean at guys. We're like, oh, we love Kihei Clark. And then he gets inserted into the starting lineup in the little invitation that we in versus Wisconsin and stuff. And, oh, my God, Kihei Clark, he's a fan favorite, man. We love Kihei Clark. And then Ty Jerome goes down. He starts against Miami. He has a little shaky start without another ball handling around him. The Kihei whisperer, Ty Jerome, he has 6 turnovers and 6 assists versus one of the better point guards in the ACC that plays for Miami, that's shorter than him. And it seems like ever since that game, he's kind of teetered as far as the confidence level, right? Because his expectations thrust upon this young man now. Now, here's one narrative that everybody has to stop saying about him. I'm tired. They be like, ball hawker, he's just careless with the ball. He needs to stop turning the ball over. So everybody loves numbers, right? So I'm going to give you some numbers. And excuse my dog for barking right there. I'm going to give you some numbers. How many turnovers do you think Kihei Clark averages a game? Or how many turnovers do you think he has total this year? He averages less than 2 turnovers a game. All right. Kihei Clark has started 8 games. He's played in 25. He's logged 637 minutes, which is the 5th most minutes. You know, Cal Guy has played 854 minutes. Ty Jerome has played 785 minutes. And DeAndre Hunter has played 778 minutes. And then you have Kihei Clark playing 637 minutes. Braxton Key has played 560 minutes. Monty Diakite has played 498 minutes. Jack Salt has played 463 minutes. And Jay Huff has played 203 minutes. So Kihei averages 25 minutes a game. Jack Salt averages 19 minutes a game. Jay Huff averages 9 minutes. Braxton Key averages 22. Monty Diakite averages 19. And Monty Diakite's minutes really took a hit when he got that average took a hit when he got hit in the head and he left the Duke game. You know, so that really brung down his minutes. Cal averages 34 minutes. DeAndre Hunter averages 31 minutes, and Ty Jerome averages 32 minutes. But let's go to the turnovers, right? So turnovers. Ty Jerome has the ball the most. He's turned the ball over the most, 42. But in 785 minutes, 42 turnovers to 123 assists, I'll take that. DeAndre Hunter has 29 turnovers with 52 assists. Cal Guy has 38 turnovers to 54 assists. And he's not a guy that's asked to really ball handle that much. Then we go to Kihei Clark. He has 54 assists. He has 29 turnovers. He has the same amount of turnovers as DeAndre Hunter. But he's the only other primary ball handler. So when people say he turns the ball over a lot, I look at them and I'm like, where? This past game, he turned the ball over one time, and that was on a defensive rebound before the end of the half, and he tried to kick it up the tide to get a heave from the half court line, and Isaiah Wilkins came in, stole it, had a little dipsy-do layup. That was his only turnover of the game. The other turnover, when Monty Diakite tried to pass it to him, the defender got his hand on the ball before Kihei could even get to it. And then you go to game before. So basically the last 3 or 4 games, he has 3 turnovers, or maybe even 4. So the last 4 games, he has 4 turnovers. We got a guy that we love dearly, that's our leading scorer, had 4 turnovers this game. You feel me? But I know what it is. He's scoring. So if you want somebody to generate more minutes, come with me with a legit narrative. They said, well, BallHawk, he only averaged 4 points. You right, he do. You right. He can't hit open shots. You right. The past 4 games, he has hit a wall. Okay? But what's the other intangibles? What's the other things that we use that he helps set the table for us? You notice he's been playing heavy in the first half, give you a look. Then the second half, he's been limited. So that's been the big difference. So is it really a big issue when you look at the scheme of things? Or are you just nagging because you want to see the unicorn play? You want to see Jeff Huff play. First it was Jack Salt. We shouldn't play Jack Salt that much. Now we shouldn't play Kihei Clark that much. First they love you, then they leave you alone. Can you imagine? In this day and age, because I wasn't around with social media, I couldn't only imagine if I'm Kihei Clark, you getting all this praise. Everybody want to call you the mongoose and all these cool nicknames, and now they're like, hey, the Kihei experiment needs to be done. Okay. So they said we don't play Kihei Clark. Who's our other ball handler? Don't say Cal Guy. Just ask Duke. They was waiting for 5 to get the ball to be a ball handler. That's not his skill set. Don't say DeAndre Hunter. Hell no, he don't want the ball outside of the kill zone. Teams are giving us a soft press to, one, try to get the ball out of Ty Jerome's hand because he's our primary ball handler. So that's why you see Kihei Clark in the game. Just ask any team coached by Tony Bennett how they've done versus the press. So now you understand why Kihei plays a lot, at least early in the game. At least early. But for folks, was coming at me on Twitter at the game, not coming at me, but just coming at Kihei like he did such a bad job. And, when he left the court, it was such an improvement. Well, why the hell didn't we score more points with him off the floor? He played all 20 minutes in the first half. We scored 32 points. In the second half, without him on the floor for 18 of the 20 minutes, we scored 32 points. What the problem is? Since everybody loves numbers, because I'm going to just give you numbers. We scored 32 with him, 32 without him. Huh? We had 8 turnovers in the first half. The turnovers are the difference. He had one of them, and his one turnover happened at the end of the first half. So which one is it? I'm trying to see something. Are we just picking and choosing who the hottest take, who the easiest target is, just to rain on their parade and be like, are we that petty? Are we that spoiled? How many games we done won so far? Who coach us? How many times you won ACC Coach of the Year? Oh, people saying, well, I'm just giving my opinion. I mean, I can provide my opinion for Coach Tony Bennett. Yes, you can provide your opinion, and I can provide my opinionated shut the hell up juice. It comes in a nice glass with Virginia colors, and it tastes so good. It tastes so good, you don't even want to talk no more. How about that? It go down with food. It go down with chips. It go down with sweets. Hell, it go down watching the game. Hell, what you need to do is sip shut the hell up juice before you hit send. All you armchair coaches, please check with the shut the hell up juice guidelines before you hit send anymore. Because some of these things y'all putting out here that these players can see, come on, man. Come on, fam. We better than that. He turns the ball over a lot, ball hawk. Where? Show me. A lot. Because you said a lot. In a lot. He's turned the ball over one time. Somebody's like, that's a fake stat. Okay. Because I trust my eyes. Well, you must wear bifocals. You must be Lord Darrell. Stop making fun of me. So, Key, just remember, man, you signed up for this. This is what sports heads do. First, they love you, they leave you alone, and then they love you again. That's just what it is. As an athlete, we built for this. Which is what you build up for. And somebody said, well, because I got a headset on, does that make me an expert? No, it doesn't make me nothing. It just gives me opinion, just like you. So don't get sensitive when I share my opinion. Also, okay, pumpkin. Okay, don't do that. Don't get defensive, because I get on the offensive and start applying pressure, breaking down your narratives. Key, keep doing what you're doing, man. You hit a little freshman wall. You've been struggling. People panicking because they worried about UMBC. Everybody living in the past. They always say stop living in the past. Everybody's so scared about March. I don't want to lose in the first round again. I don't want to lose in the second round. We got to win the title ball. Something has to change. And no matter what, we find a way to win. And while we winning and carrying on, guess what we doing amongst each other as a fan base? We picking on certain players and why they shouldn't play. Come to me with solutions. Come to me with a solution. Break down in the comment section. Give me your rotation. Give me the minutes that should be played by each player. And then we're going to say versus this team, how would the rotation be? Give me the minutes. Give me the breakdown. That's what I need. Because if not, you know what I got on deck, right? You know what I got on deck, right? A full case. Unlimited. I mean, I got so much juice. So much to serve. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Good is the enemy of great. Be great in everything that you do, man. Wahoos continue to roll. We sweep Virginia Tech. We should be happy. I mean, hell, they would have beat us. They would have been talking so much trash, but we killing each other. Fan bases fighting amongst each other. Boy, I tell you. Gotta love it. Wahoo wah, man. I'm out. Subscribe.
I want the whole world spin my record. Cheryl, the hoodie styles, check game, stay free records. Oh, shorty girl fed to death in a massaging. Bad news either be massaging. I got a fitted head, I be massaging. Pinky rings on my finger, I'm massaging. I got a speedboat concert cause I massage. I coming through about a whole Econo Lodge. I be massaging. I be massaged. I'm coming through with Cadillacs and massaging. Yeah, boats I'm constantly massaging. I got GPS's, I be massaging. I catch croaker fish cause I'm massaging. I like a macaroni plate, I be massaging. Even oodles and noodles, I be massaging. Straight out the ghetto cause I'm massaging. I got ice around my neck cause I'm massaging. Or even gold teeth, I'm massaging. A pinky ring iced out cause I'm massaging. I got $100 million be massaging. I stay paid, I be massaging. I stay late, I be massaging. I hit the pool all night cause I'm massaging. She wanna come through loaded and massage. Whole teeth, we massage. Bad new pasta constantly massage. Ain't no joke, I be massaging. Even the bacon and eggs, I be massaging. Polo shirts, Chateau Adidas, I be massaging. I love you, sweetie cake. Spin my record, let me give you the game. On how to get rich. Take a penny and flip a penny. Then 40 billion. Why? I be massaging. What? Car steering wheel. I be massaging. The whole label of the State Free Records in the VA. Oh, we be massaging. Let's have a money shot.